Good, now press escape and select choose slot. Then select the aircraft you wish to fly. 137. Start at ANAPA. 138. Start on the air. We have enabled the autopilot for straight flight, so that we can explain what we will do on this training mission. However, be sure to increase throttle to at least 80% RPM, to ensure a cruise speed of at least 240 knots indicated. The A-4E is armed with two Colt Mark 12 cannons, one in each wing root. The Mark 12 was standard cannon armament on American naval fighters and attack aircraft from the early 50s to the early 70s, including the F-4D Skyray, F-3H Demon, F-8 Crusader, F-11 Tiger and early Navy versions of the A-7 Corsair II. For air-to-air use, the A-4E can also carry two missiles, belonging to three variants of the Sidewinder heat-seeking missile, GAR-8. It's the USAF designation for the AIM-9B, an early sidewinder for rear aspect use only. AIM-9P introduced on 1978, it's an all-aspect version of the sidewinder, created for export. AIM-9P5, similar to the 9P, but with better countermeasures ability. This is the variant we will use on this training mission. During this training mission, you will employ the two air-to-air weapons available to the A-4E. 1. Air-to-air sidewinder missiles. 2. Built-in machine guns. Both are fired using the stick's trigger, so care must be taken to select which weapon will be fired. We will now review the correct procedure for each. The procedure for using the guns is as follows. 1. Set gun sight depression. The A-4E gun sight is meant for air-ground use only, so for air-air use leave its depression at 0. Use this dial to adjust the gun sight brightness, so that it does not hide the targets. 2. Set the weapon's function selector to its off position. You may also click on the base of the flight stick to hide it, in order to have better access to the weapons panel. 3. Gun switch. Set it to ready if you want to fire the internal guns. Set to safe if you will fire a sidewinder, to prevent firing both missile and gun simultaneously. 4. Finally, prior to using the guns, you should set the master arm switch to on. 5. Fire the guns by pressing the flight stick trigger. Fire a short test burst now, to make sure we have the setup correct. The procedure for firing the sidewinder missiles is very similar to the one for the guns. 1. Set gun sight depression to 0 and adjust the gun sight brightness. 2. Set the weapons function selector to the bombs and guided munitions armed, knob position. 3. Gun switch. Set it to safe, to prevent firing both missile and gun simultaneously. 4. Turn on the corresponding station select switches. The A-4E can only carry sidewinders on stations 2 and 4. The sound that you hear is the missile seeker tone. The current sound is the search tone. When it detects a strong heat source it will change to a higher pitched sound. Adjust the volume with the highlighted knob. 5. To prevent firing both missiles simultaneously, set the release type to single. This will ensure that you fire just one missile when pressing the trigger. 6. Finally, prior to using the missiles, you should set the master arm switch to on. For now, set it to safe until you have sighted the enemy aircrafts. Leave the other setting ready for sidewinders, and after you have fired both missiles, switch to guns. To query the enemy's position, we will now use the UHF radio to contact our AWACS aircraft. Check that its mode knob is on the TR+G position. Next, confirm that the UHF radio is set to preset mode. On this mission, our AWACS is using the 251 MHz frequency. To communicate with it, select preset 2 on our UHF radio, using the highlighted knob. Now that we have the radio properly tuned, you should begin to hear the AWACS messages, reporting the location of the enemy drones. The reports have this format. AWACS identification. Overlord 11. Player identification. Enfield 11 or Enfield 21. Target coordinates in BRA format. Bearing towards the target, in degrees. Range to the target, in nautical miles. Altitude of the target, in feet. If later on, you need an updated report, contact AWACS by pressing the HOTAS PTT button or the right Control plus / keys, and select F7. AWACS, Overlord. F4. Request bogey dope. Select the nearest target, disconnect the autopilot and head towards the bandit, trying to match its altitude. The drones are quite small. If you can't find them, call up AWACS and request a bogey dope.
Overlord 1-1, Infield 1-1, request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1, BRA 242-412 at 3,000 knots. Overlord 1-1, Infield 1-1, request bogey dope. Thousand knots. Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1, merged. Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1, merged. Overlord 1-1, Infield 1-1, request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target.
3,000, flanking.
If using missiles, take care to not have the sun behind the target. If using guns, get much closer to the target before firing and fire short burst rather than one long burst. Remember that the A-4E does not have ammunition counters. You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target.
Overlord 1-1, Infield 1-1, request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. Good shot. Drone 3C has been destroyed. You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target.
Overlord 1-1, Infield 1-1, request bogey dope. 3,000, cold.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target.
1-1. In field 1-1. Request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Clean. Overlord 1-1. In field 1-1. Request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Clean. Overlord 1-1. In field 1-1. Request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Clean.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. You have no more missiles. Let's switch to guns. 1. Set the weapons function selector to its off position. You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. Three. Of course, the master arm switch. Once you have expended all of your ammunition, turn the aircraft towards the east, to head home.
Overlord 1-1. In field 1-1. Request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Clean. Enfield 1-1. Overlord 1-1. Pop-up group 0.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target.
Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 05140 at 2000, cold.
Good shot. Drone 3B has been destroyed. 25 points awarded.
Overlord 1-1, Enfield 1-1, request bogey dope. Flanking. Overlord 1-1, Enfield 1-1, request bogey dope. Enfield 1-1, Overlord 1-1, Bra 03842 at 1000, cold.
You are within 1 nautical mile of a drone. Maneuver to approach from behind the target. Press spacebar if you want to finish this training mission now. Or press backspace if you prefer to continue the flight plan to land at an APA airbase for extra points.